The United Kingdom is facing an unprecedented crisis, marked by civil unrest and social tension that has divided the nation. This turmoil centers on the ongoing migrant crisis, particularly around the town of Dover, England. The situation has escalated to such a degree that riots have broken out, protests have surged, and debates have intensified over the future of the nation and the ethics surrounding migration. Dover, a town on the southeastern coast of England, has become the epicenter of the migrant crisis. It is here that thousands of migrants, primarily from war-torn and economically unstable regions, attempt to cross the English Channel from France. The crossing is perilous, often made in overcrowded and unsafe inflatable boats. Once these vessels come within 10 miles of the UK border, they are intercepted by the Coast Guards and brought to Dover. The process that follows is largely hidden from public view, but it is known that the migrants are processed and then dispersed to various locations across the United Kingdom. This influx of migrants has ignited widespread anger and fear among many local residents. The town of Dover, once a quiet coastal community, now finds itself at the heart of a national debate about immigration, national security, and identity. Many locals feel overwhelmed by the number of migrants arriving and are frustrated by what they see as the government's inability to control the situation. The residents of Dover, like many across the UK, are divided in their opinions about the migrant crisis. During interviews on the streets of Dover, the sentiments expressed ranged from outright hostility to cautious empathy.
All the migrants that are coming into Dover.
They don't like it, do they? There's too many coming over. It just ruins this town. It's ruined it.
One man, visibly frustrated, expressed his discontent with the current situation. "I don't like it, do they? There's too many coming over. It just ruins this town. It's ruined it." His words reflect a common sentiment among those who feel that the influx of migrants is changing the character of their communities, often in ways they perceive as negative.
And would you say the majority of people here in Dover and in the United Kingdom in general are very accepting of the migrants?
No. No one likes them.
Another interviewee, when asked about the general attitude towards migrants in the UK, bluntly stated, "No one likes it." This stark statement underscores the growing resentment that some people feel towards the migrants, whom they view as a burden on public services and a threat to their way of life.
So with that, they're coming over here, but obviously at the same time, yes, some of us are struggling, and when they come over here, they just get everything handed to them, because obviously they're the ones that need the help. But most people in Dover, you could go anywhere and ask anyone, they'd say they belong to go, they have to go back.
How do the people here?
However, not everyone in Dover shares this hostility. A woman passing by expressed a more nuanced view. "I'm not a racist myself, so with that, they're coming over here. But obviously at the same time, yes, some of us are struggling, and when they come over here, they just get everything handed to them." While she acknowledges the challenges that migrants face, she also voices concerns about the strain on local resources and the perceived preferential treatment of migrants.
Migrants that are coming over.
Oh no, there are a load of racists around here. They're racist. Too racist, man.
What do you think causes all the racism?
Well, it's England, isn't it?
I'm not a racist myself.
Another resident, when asked about the root causes of racism towards migrants, remarked, "Well, it's England, isn't it?" This response highlights the complex interplay between national identity and attitudes towards outsiders. For some, the arrival of large numbers of migrants feels like an erosion of the traditional British way of life, fueling resentment and xenophobia.
If they need to come here to be happy and have a life, then I think they should be.
On the other hand, there are those in Dover who argue that migrants have a right to seek a better life. One man voiced his support for the migrants, saying, "I think everyone deserves a life, to be honest with you. If they need to come here to be happy and have a life, then they should be entitled to." This perspective is rooted in a sense of humanitarian duty and the belief that the UK, as a wealthy and stable nation, has a responsibility to help those in need. The situation in Dover is just one part of a much larger crisis that has gripped the United Kingdom. Across the country, there are reports of migrants setting up encampments in public parks, particularly in London, where some areas have been transformed into informal settlements. This has led to tensions with local residents, and has raised concerns about public safety and sanitation.
We have cartels that kind of control all the migrants. Is there some sort of thing like that here in the United Kingdom?
I'm sure there is, but you don't see it. You don't see it at all. There's definitely help for these people or misinformation for these people pushing them towards us, but yeah, I'd say they're definitely...
The role of smuggling networks in facilitating the arrival of migrants has also come under scrutiny. Some interviewees in Dover suggested that organized crime groups, similar to the cartels in the United States, are involved in bringing migrants to the UK. There's definitely help for these people, or misinformation for these people, pushing them towards us, one person remarked, hinting at the shadowy networks that profit from human suffering. The United Kingdom's response to the migrant crisis has not only highlighted deep divisions within the country, but has also sparked fears of more widespread civil unrest. The riots that have erupted in various cities are a stark reminder that the issue of migration is not just about policy, but about the very fabric of British society. The police have made numerous arrests during these riots, targeting both migrants and those who oppose their presence.
You believe a civil war is on the rise?
A civil war is inevitable. It will happen.
They're not asylum seekers. They've gone through 16 safe countries. They're safe in France. France isn't at war.
And how did you get here?
I get by boat.
By boat?
Yeah, from France.
Migrants are welcome here. Migrants said it's not their fault that they have to leave countries which are subject to war.
What do most people here in the United Kingdom think about all the migrants that are coming over?
Oh, no, there are a load of racists around here. They're racist. Too racist, man.
The United Kingdom has recently erupted and the kingdom is not united. In fact, it seems to be very divided at the moment. Riots have broken out across the country. The police have made arrests on men and women for speaking out. And the major underlying issue to all this is the current migrant crisis and the two-tier policing inside the United Kingdom. In this video, I will show you what has caused the UK to erupt as I investigate and dig deep into the migrant crisis. I will be going to the start of the issue here in Dover, England, and I will be speaking with UK's most controversial man, Tommy Robinson. I will be attending the largest rally in UK history and going to other cities that have been changed due to the influx of migrants. And I will also be going to certain parts of London where migrants have taken over parks as they have set up their own encampments. This is going to get hectic, and let's start by going to Dover, England. And why is Dover such an important city regarding the migrant issue here in the United Kingdom? Because here in Dover is where thousands and potentially millions of migrants have crossed the English Channel from France on inflatable boats coming here to the United Kingdom. And from Dover to the closest town in France, it is about 20-mile stretch. And once a migrant boat gets within 10 miles of the border of the United Kingdom, they are then intercepted by the coast guards and they are brought here to this pier here in Dover. It's a pretty secretive process that goes on here with the migrants. Right behind me is a barricade that we cannot see where the migrants are at. However, we do know that this is where the migrants come in and they are put behind this wall. And right over there on the other side, there are tents and buses that then take the migrants from here.
For some, the situation has reached a tipping point. The fear of a civil war, while still a distant prospect, is no longer dismissed out of hand. The polarization of opinions, the rise in hate crimes, and the increasingly heated rhetoric all point to a nation struggling to find a common ground. As one observer noted, the United Kingdom has recently erupted, and the kingdom is not united. In fact, it seems to be very divided at the moment. The UK's migrant crisis is a complex and multifaceted issue that defies easy solutions. It is a crisis that has brought out the best and worst in people, revealing deep-seated fears, prejudices, and in some cases, a profound sense of compassion. As the situation continues to evolve, the challenge for the UK will be to find a way to address the legitimate concerns of its citizens while upholding its values of fairness, justice, and humanity. The road ahead is uncertain, and the potential for further unrest is real. But in this moment of crisis, there is also an opportunity for dialogue, understanding, and ultimately reconciliation. Whether the UK seizes this opportunity or descends further into division and conflict remains to be seen.